Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un both own massive yachts, but the difference between them is extraordinary. One flaunts wealth openly, a gleaming monument to glamour and bold extravagance. The other hides luxury behind layers of secrecy, operating in the shadows far from the world's eyes. Yet both vessels, one American, one North Korean, reveal more about their owners than any speech, interview, or headline ever could. And today, you're going to see exactly which one takes the throne in the world of yacht luxury. Let me take you back to 1988, long before politics, long before the White House, when Donald Trump was at the peak of his real estate empire. A time when towers with his name covered skylines and his appetite for grandeur seemed unlimited. Buildings weren't enough. Wealth wasn't enough. Notoriety wasn't enough. Trump wanted a throne on the sea, a yacht so legendary that it would make him the undisputed king of New York Harbor, the birth of a floating legend. Trump didn't just want a yacht. He wanted a vessel with a backstory so rich, so dramatic, so infused with intrigue, that it felt ripped from a Hollywood script. And that's exactly what he found. The yacht he purchased measured almost 86 meters long, with a wide 13-meter beam and a deep 4.7-meter draft. It wasn't a boat. It was a fortress of steel, polish, and wealth. Wherever it sailed, it commanded attention. Wherever it docked, it drew crowds. But the real fascination begins long before Trump ever stepped on board. The story of this yacht starts in 1980, when it was constructed by the legendary Italian shipbuilder Benetti. But even that is just the surface. Before Trump ever considered buying it, this floating palace belonged to someone even more notorious, Adnan Khashoggi, one of the most controversial and powerful arms dealers of the 20th century. Khashoggi was a man whose wealth seemed endless. His parties were infamous, his art collections priceless, and his reputation so larger than life that Hollywood and musicians used him as inspiration. His yacht appeared in the James Bond film Never Say Never Again, and even inspired Queen's iconic track Khashoggi's Ship. This vessel was not merely a toy of the rich, it was a cultural symbol, feared and admired in equal measure. So when Trump purchased it for $29 million, he wasn't just buying metal and engines. He was buying a myth, a legend, a floating piece of history crafted for a man whose wealth challenged the imagination. Even though Khashoggi had spent around $100 million to build it in 1980, Trump felt, like always, that he could do better. So he poured an additional $8.50 to $10 million into upgrades, transforming it into what he called the Trump Princess, a name meant to reflect wealth, dominance, and total control of the sea. The mysterious world of Kim Jong-un's private fleet. Now let's jump thousands of miles east and step into the realm of Kim Jong-un, where luxury doesn't show itself proudly like in New York. It hides behind a curtain of secrecy. Kim's primary yacht, known as the Princess 95 motor yacht, measures around 80 meters, slightly smaller than Trump's. But its story is far more shadowed and complex. Unlike Trump's yacht, whose ownership, cost, and origins can all be traced in public records, Kim's vessel exists inside a system where even basic truths are hidden. Its origin remains partially unknown, its construction timeline blurry, and its purpose wrapped in secrecy. North Korea doesn't announce yacht launches. It doesn't flaunt luxury. Instead, it protects its secrets with military-grade discipline. What we do know is that Kim Jong-un's yacht is part of a fleet, at least 5 floating mansions inherited from previous leaders. In North Korea, they don't call them yachts. Instead, they have a more symbolic name: party barges. The phrase sounds playful, but in reality, it reveals the real purpose of these vessels. They are floating recreation centers, exclusive pleasure hubs designed for one family and one family only, the Kim dynasty. These yachts are not for travel across oceans. They are not meant to dock in exotic foreign ports. Instead, they move along North Korea's coastline in carefully monitored waters. They exist to entertain, to host, and to create a private world where the outside world cannot intrude. Yet, despite the secrecy, satellite imagery and intelligence reports have provided glimpses into the luxury, design choices, and priorities behind Kim's maritime empire. And what they reveal is unlike anything you've ever seen. Inside Trump's yacht, a world of opulence and power. Trump's yacht was not a simple display of wealth. It was an entire ecosystem of extravagance designed to impress, entertain, and dominate. Imagine arriving in a helicopter and landing directly on your yacht's private helipad, because walking to the marina would simply be too ordinary. This alone separates Trump's vessel from almost every yacht of its era. Now picture stepping off the helipad and walking toward a swimming pool designed with a counter-current jet system, allowing passengers to swim laps in the ocean while staying in place. From there, you enter a private disco built into the interior of the yacht. The music is loud, the lights flash, and the Atlantic Ocean becomes your dance floor. As the night winds down, guests could wander into a private 12-seat cinema fully equipped with an 800-movie library, 800 films on a yacht. Enough entertainment to watch a new movie every night for over 2 years. But these luxuries were just the warm-up. The Trump princess also held a fully operational hospital, complete with a surgical operating room. This was not symbolic. It was an actual functioning medical facility, prepared for emergencies anywhere in the world. Add to that a bakery, a professional hair salon, 2 beautifully crafted reever tenders, and 3 industrial-grade water makers capable of producing 45,000 liters of fresh water every day. And then comes the Ruby Suite, an interior space that redefined maritime luxury. A room with a tortoiseshell ceiling, a monumental 3-meter bed, an onyx-lined bathroom, and a private sauna. It had a hidden exit for maximum privacy and security. Every detail screamed one thing: ultimate dominance through luxury. This wasn't a yacht, this was a statement. Inside Kim Jong-un's yacht, secrecy, surveillance, and pleasure. If Trump's yacht was a floating luxury hotel, Kim Jong-un's was a floating kingdom. At the heart of his primary vessel is a massive indoor lounge with panoramic windows, observation decks, and multiple interconnected floors designed for private events. But the real shock comes when you explore deeper. Kim's yacht contains a swimming pool of Olympic proportions, large enough for 50-meter lanes. This alone defies logic. Building an Olympic pool on a yacht requires engineering precision, weight balancing, and stabilization systems that only the most advanced shipbuilders could produce. But North Korea didn't stop there. The vessel includes twisting water slides shaped in a figure-8 pattern, turning the yacht into a floating amusement park capable of entertaining elites for hours. The slides, the pool, and the lounge all reflect one central theme: total isolation wrapped in complete luxury. This yacht exists both as a private resort and a private fortress. Observation decks allow Kim to oversee surroundings, ensuring maximum security even during leisure. The interior design isn't just about comfort, it's about control. Satellite imagery has even detected resurfacing of pools, slide repairs, and maintenance hubs designed specifically for Kim's fleet. With international sanctions blocking access to global yacht services, North Korea has had to build its own parallel system of maritime maintenance, which is an astonishing feat in itself. Kim's yachts also double as diplomatic spaces. Recently, one of them hosted Russia's top diplomat, revealing that these vessels serve as more than amusement. They are floating meeting rooms, private discussion chambers, and symbols of power reserved exclusively for North Korea's uppermost circle. A tale of two designs: Western excess versus authoritarian isolation. When comparing the design philosophies of these two yachts, the contrast is so striking that it feels like examining two entirely different worlds, one built for the spotlight, the other built for the shadows. Trump's yacht was the embodiment of Western luxury at its loudest and most unapologetic. Everything about it was engineered to catch the eye and hold it. Bold materials, sweeping interior spaces, dramatic architectural shapes, and a level of polish meant to rival the finest hotels in Europe. The interior glowed with glossy chamois leather, rare exotic woods, gold accents, custom fixtures, and details specifically crafted to impress celebrities, billionaires, and high-profile guests. It was a yacht designed to glide into glamorous destinations like Cannes, Monaco, and Saint-Tropez, where its arrival would spark headlines and admiration. It welcomed cameras, attention, and curiosity. Kim Jong-un's yacht, however, could not be more different. Its design favors secrecy and stability over spectacle. The vessel is constructed with a wider beam and heavier structural reinforcement, creating a huge interior footprint while maximizing balance in shallow or calm coastal waters. Its purpose is purely internal, offering amusement park-like entertainment, private lounges, and hidden amenities meant only for the ruling elite. Kim's yacht was engineered not to impress the world but to hide from it, to blend into restricted coastlines near Wonsan, Kalma, and the secluded resort compounds that North Korea keeps invisible to outsiders. The cost of floating kingdoms. Luxury always comes with a price, and in Donald Trump's case, that price was nothing short of staggering. So staggering, in fact, that even someone known for bold financial risks felt its weight. The Trump princess cost $29 million at the time of purchase, a massive sum even for the 1980s. But that was only the beginning. Trump immediately poured an additional $8.50 to $10 million into renovations, upgrades, and aesthetic transformations to ensure the yacht reflected his personal brand of opulence. And then came the real financial test, keeping the vessel alive. The annual operating cost hovered around $2.5 million, a figure driven upward by fuel expenses, salaries for a crew of over 50, constant mechanical upkeep, docking fees in world-famous marinas, and a level of insurance required for something this enormous and valuable. It wasn't just a yacht, it was a constantly burning furnace of money demanding attention and resources every single day. Eventually, even Trump's empire couldn't comfortably sustain the financial pull. In 1991, during a period of enormous financial strain, he sold the yacht for $20 million, taking a significant loss when considering the purchase price, upgrades, and years of operation. Today, it is owned by Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, standing as one of the most iconic luxury vessels ever built. Kim Jong-un's Princess 95 yacht, although physically smaller, carries an estimated value of about $7 million. Yet because of the secrecy surrounding its construction, the modifications likely made behind closed doors, and the unique engineering challenges of maintaining such a vessel in a heavily sanctioned country, the true cost may be far higher. But, unlike Trump, Kim does not need to justify selling anything. His yachts are not investments, assets, or financial burdens. They are symbols of dynastic power, personal control, and a lifestyle insulated entirely from economic reality. Which yacht truly takes the crown? The answer depends on what crown you're measuring. Trump's yacht is the clear winner in terms of global luxury, engineering sophistication, independence, and raw financial scale. It was built to dominate oceans, turn heads in every harbor, and represent global prestige. Kim Jong-un's yacht, however, wins in terms of secrecy, political symbolism, and the surreal nature of its existence. It is luxury designed for isolation, a floating palace built not to impress the world but to hide from it. One yacht symbolizes ambition, the other symbolizes control. Both symbolize power. So now the question is yours. Which vessel do you think truly rules the sea? Trump's legendary Trump princess, or Kim Jong-un's secretive floating kingdom? Let me know in the comments. For more videos like this, tap the next card on your screen. Trump's ship is a celebration of capitalism, glass, chrome, marble, and excess crafted to impress billionaires and journalists alike. Kim's is a paradox of dictatorship, imported luxury hiding behind a nation struggling for basic necessities. One vessel radiates confidence, the other radiates caution. While the Trump princess could host CEOs, celebrities, and global elites, Kim's yacht might host only those he trusts with his life. Trump's decks are built for champagne toasts. Kim's decks are built for surveillance, security, and strategic silence. And yet, both yachts carve their own kind of legend. One is documented in magazines. The other appears only in satellite photos. One leaves a trail of paparazzi. The other leaves a trail of speculation. Trump's yacht represents the dream of limitless success. Kim's represents the reality of absolute control. One opens doors, the other closes them. One rides waves of admiration, the other rides waves of fear. But each one, in its own way, dominates its domain. So now the question is yours. Which vessel truly rules the sea? The iconic Trump princess or the mysterious floating fortress of Kim Jong-un? Let me know in the comments. And for more wild comparisons like this one, tap the next card on your screen. In the end, both vessels are mirrors, reflecting the worlds that built them. One sails through open waters, embraced by global attention. The other moves like a rumor across the waves, seen yet never fully understood. One embodies the pursuit of grandeur. The other embodies the preservation of power. And somewhere between those two extremes lies the truth about leadership itself. Some leaders want to be remembered. Others simply want to remain unchallenged.